There are bubbles in this already. There is a lot of rot here. There are also rusty gas lines here. Then, oh no, we have even more rot here. Water can get down this A-post, pool at the bottom, and rot everything inside. Fans know Fuzz Townshend is the co-host of the hit TV show Car SOS, where he brings old cars back to life for owners who deserve it. But Fuzz isn't just what you see on TV. A lot of people know him as the nice handyman. There is a man with a unique skill, a love of music, and an interesting past behind the toolbox. Let's learn some things about Fuzz Townshend that you may not have known. He was born in the early to mid-1940s, and Jaguar cars had a big effect on his work. From 1948 to 1992, real cars were made with his designs. The tool worked well and was durable for a long time. One of the best-known cars with a Jaguar XK engine was likely the E-Type Jaguar. He was born and raised by a single mother in Birmingham, England. As a kid, he really liked music and cars. He was young when he became interested in physics. For fun, he would sometimes fix up his friends' mopeds just to hear the engine start up again when he was in his teens. Fuzz got better at fixing cars even though he hadn't been trained to do so. Putting in a lot of work and doing things himself helped him do this. He often calls himself a backstreet bodger, which means he learned how to fix things by doing them wrong instead of reading about them or going to school. Fuzz did a lot of different jobs to help his mom pay the bills. One of them was as a bus yard mechanic who was learning the trade. He got better at what he did there, and those early lessons helped him become the pro we see on Car SOS now. Fuzz used to work full-time in the music business before he switched to cars, but not many people know this. Fuzz was good at music and cars by nature. He did need a little push, though, to get it done. He was lucky that his mom was there to push him. When Fuzz was 10, Mom won a Vauxhall Chevette in a contest held by a national newspaper. Not the car, but the money. She bought Fuzz a drum set with some of it. He will always love music because of that small thing. A jazz musician in the area helped him start learning how to play the drums. Fuzz began performing on stage and playing in school bands before he turned 12. After that, he loved music even more and knew he wanted to make a living with it. Let's go to 1991. Pop Will Eat Itself saw Fuzz play drums with other local bands, and that was his big break. The band no longer wanted to use pre-programmed beats and wanted a real drummer. This band hired Fuzz because he met all of their needs. Fuzz helped them make the 1992 album, The Looks or The Lifestyle. He brought the band back to life by playing live drums. It took him about 4.5 years to stay with them and tour and record songs with them. After Fuzz left Pop Will Eat Itself, he played with a number of other well-known bands. He started out playing with the British ska band, The Beat. He later joined the band Bentley Rhythm Ace, which is an electronic rock band. From 2010 to 2014, he played drums for the popular alternative rock band, The Wonder Stuff. He got better at art because he learned new things about music. In 1996, Fuzz began making music by himself. After his first song, Hello Darlin', came out, he signed a deal with Echo Records. When his 1999 album, Farron, came out, it showed how many artists had influenced him. The next album he put out was called Fuzz Townshend and came out in 2002. After making a name for himself in the music business, Fuzz changed jobs in 2004 and started teaching part-time at a college. Teenagers and young adults learned how music works in theory and in real life from the classes he taught at the college. Since he had been a drummer and artist for a long time, he shared useful tips from his work. Pop Will Eat Itself, his old band, decided to get back together around the same time. When he got the chance to do it again, he was glad to, but that didn't change his job as a teacher. He could do well at both of his jobs. Fuzz quickly proved that he was more than just a drummer. He was also a creative artist with many talents. It didn't matter that he worked in media. He still loved rhythm and sound. If you want to be a singer, you might have to write your own songs. Fuzz's creative mind is what made him want to write about cars. In the beginning, he worked as a reporter for Practical Classics, a well-known car magazine. He started as a junior writer and worked his way up to become a technical editor, a position he held until March 2011. As an editor, he wrote about fixing and restoring old cars, giving readers advice on how to do it from a professional. But Fuzz left the magazine after a while to work as a freelance writer. He opened a business called Westgate Classics to fix up old cars and make them come alive again. This was the first big step toward him having his own shop where he could fix and restore cars full-time. In 2014, Fuzz began a fresh project known as Classic Friendly Network. This was a group of UK auto shops that knew how to fix older cars, especially ones that didn't need to pass tests. You can keep your classic car in good shape by taking it to these shops for regular service and safety checks. Fuzz wanted people who owned cars to feel good about them.
He even planned to start an inspection service just for cars that were sold by the same company. That being said, he left Classic Friendly Network in April 2018, but Fuzz was ready for the next part by the middle of 2016. After he quit Westgate Classics, his next job was to open Utah Classics Limited in Oldbury, West Midlands. In 2018, the business changed its name to SOS Workshop to match the work he did on the TV show Car SOS. At this point, the head gasket is gone, and hot exhaust gases are blowing into the coolant. The coolant then leaks into this cylinder. It's making steam, which is what's making this white fur appear. The coolant is getting too hot, which makes the engine burn and slow down. Adding more fuel might have been an attempt to make it go faster, but it was going to fail horribly. Not many people know that Fuzz got his part on the show in the strangest way. A lot of people watch Fuzz and Tim do what they do best on TV. A lot of the time, TV hosts would apply for jobs, and the production company would go back to them. But Fuzz wasn't like that. He wasn't looking for the role of host. It just fell into his lap. In 2011, a nearby company called Renegade Pictures was looking for people to be on a new show on the National Geographic Channel about fixing up old cars. People at work knew Fuzz could fix things, which was lucky for him. He was called by the crew and asked to try out for a part in a show. Also, keep in mind that the business wanted more than just his skills. They also wanted his place of work. At the time, Fuzz was in charge of Westgate Classics. The show idea would work great in his shop. For the test, Fuzz didn't have to go very far. The people who make the show came to his garage and set up cameras right where he worked every day. Since it was easy for him to talk about cars and work on engines, that's what they caught on film. During the shot, his kindness and understanding came through naturally. He was later paired with host Tim Shaw, even though he wasn't trying to become famous. It was a good test show. By 2013, Fuzz's workshop was the first place where Car SOS lived. He became a TV star because of that event. Not many people know that Fuzz isn't really his name. They only know him from the media and the car business. His real name is John Richard Keith. The name Fuzz isn't used very often in public or in interviews, which makes people wonder where it came from. As of late, Fuzz said in an interview that the name comes from when he was a child. As a child, he had thick, fuzzy hair that no one else in his town did. Because it stood out so much, his friends called him Fuzz.